This is Big Kenny again. I've shown a few videos of my sunbirds and my garage and my ferrets and other things, and I'm going to show you a project that I've been working on for several years. I worked on it all through high school, and I had it in storage for about 8 years, and I didn't touch it. But I've started working on it again, and I've been working on it for a few months. Well, probably almost 6 months now, and I'm starting to get it coming along. I've got a lot of work to do, but here it is. This is my 1951 Ford F-1. This truck used to belong to my dad. Well, you could still technically say it belongs to Dad, because it's not technically licensed under my name yet. But I've been working on this truck since my high school days. I did the body work. I repaired a lot of rust. There was rust in all 4 fenders. There was rust in the kick panels. There was rust all over the place. I fixed it up the best I could. It's a high school job, so it's not perfect. There's lots of spots I missed, lots of little imperfections. I'm not a professional auto body guy or a professional painter, but I did the body work all by myself with some instruction from high school instructors. I even painted it myself. As you could probably tell if you could see the runs. There's not many runs in the body, but you can see there's a little orange peel in the paint, and it's not perfectly shiny. This thing was stored outside for a couple of years after I painted it, so it's a little bit weathered. But, you know, these days weathered paint job is kind of the fad. I've been working on a few things. This is a fan shroud I built for an electric fan. I built it off of the original radiator. The original radiator, of course, covered in clutter, because I'm not the most organized guy ever. I got a little bit of work. Got to paint that little inner panel there. I welded in new floorboards. It's a little dark in here to see. But if I move this, you'll probably see where the welds are. I welded in a whole new front floor pan. I'm also installing brand new wiring. It's a wiring kit from a place called Nexus Wirewares out of Alberta. As you can see, there's no fuel tank mounted here. Originally the fuel tank would have been back here behind the seat, but I've got another fuel tank built by my father, made out of an old keg. It's about a 15-gallon keg, and no, it's not beer keg. For those of you who might be a little annoyed that are using a keg for fuel instead of beer, this was never a beer keg. This keg was for photo developing chemicals. My grandfather on my mother's side, who I unfortunately never met, owned a photo studio, and back in the old days they had to develop their own photos. I believe this keg had something like vinegar, some similar to vinegar, mild acid for, I'm not sure exactly what part for. Here's some of the tools. I'm using this little bitty compressor. It's a little bit annoying. Takes a while to pump up and runs down on pressure quickly, but it kind of gets the job done for what I can afford right now. This is my welding setup here. This is actually something I spent quite a bit of money on a few years back. This is my Hobart Handler 140 MIG with the cart. The cart I actually managed to get them to throw in with the welder, because they didn't have a price tag on the cart and they couldn't find it in their inventory or their system. They couldn't find any price on it, so the manager says just give it to them. As you can see, I've got it hooked up to gas, so it's true MIG. This truck has got a few modifications. Probably after I knock everything over and break stuff, I'll probably make later videos. This truck is not a restoration. It's a hot rod, but it's a little different than the average hot rod these days, because I'm keeping the original suspension. It has the original rear differential. It has four-wheel drum brakes still, but I've added a power booster setup that I'll probably show in a later video. I've got an exhaust system that I'm building over there against the wall. Smithy mufflers, mandrel bent tubes, which I bought mandrel U-bends online and cut them out and welded them together to make my exhaust, which is a little more difficult than it appears when you see people do it on TV. I've got some chrome pulleys on the engine. The engine isn't a Ford anymore, it's a small block Chevy. 283 out of a 66 Chevy. It's got a Buick transmission actually. The transmission is a 400 super turbine. It's very similar to a regular turbo 400, but it has a switch pitch torque converter. With an electrical solenoid, it switches the torque converter stall speed from, I believe, something around, I'm not sure, I think about 15 or 1800 RPM to about 2600 RPM when the switches is energized. Don't quote me on this, it's online somewhere, they had the information. I've wired the solenoid into the brake switch. I've got the electric kick down. I need light to show everybody, but anyway, I'll show that on a later date. It's got the wood grain 3-spoke steering wheel with real wood on it. And I got a lot of work to do yet. I'm just about done wiring. I've got the chrome tail lights and stainless brackets for the tailgate. Still missing a tailgate. I have a tailgate, but it's got a big bend in it, and as a result, I never bothered to paint it because it was just so hard to straighten. I didn't think I was going to be able to straighten it. I'm still looking for a straight tailgate. But anyway, that's pretty much it for today. I think that's a long enough video. If you stuck it out to the end, I thank you. This is a horn bracket I built. I made that out of some aluminum that I've got over here. It's about 1/8 inch thick aluminum, and I've actually been making quite a few little brackets out of it, as you can see by the hunk that I've cut out. Maybe I'll show a video of how I make little brackets too, I don't know. Anyways, hope you like it. Please rate my videos and subscribe if you can. Thanks a lot.